Okay, so welcome back, and I Kuldeep in Network Trainings by Kuldeep. I welcome you guys in this third video of CCNA Super 50, right? So initially I was thinking that this CCNA part will be covered in 30 videos. So I thought it would be good to name it CCNA Super 30, but no, I think this is quite lengthy syllabus and we need to cover a lot of things. So yes, it would take at least maybe 40, 45 or 50 hours to complete this training. So yes, why not name it CCNA Super 50? So what we are going to do, I'm going to record these 50 45 maybe video lectures, and will include everything about CCNA, which will include also the new CCNA wireless security and also the automation part, right? So stay with us, and this English course will be continued maybe daily or twice, and in 2 or 3 days I will upload a video for this, right? So yes, let's start this one. And I have discussed about IP addressing and about OSI model and networking, right? So this is next video, fourth video I think, right? Not third, the fourth video. So let's get started with subnetting. So as they say that to start your networking career, there is this thing you need to know. First of all, see what we are studying. We are studying about network and networking. Okay, so what was network? Interconnection of multiple devices so that they could share data with each other. It can be hardware, it can be software resources. What is networking? When you deal with the logical flow of data in the network, that is networking, like packets and frames and segments, etc. Everything. Now if you see, these are all IP networks. So we are dealing with this data communication IP networks, right? So we need to have this strong bonding with the IP concepts. Okay, so we have discussed a lot of things about IP, and I encourage you guys to get knowledge about, like, whatever you can grasp about IP, whatever it will be beneficial, right? So yes, everything that you can touch on each and every concept of IP. Yes, so first of all, this is your prerequisite for CCNA, as I would say that IP concept must be very clear to you guys. Now with IP you also need to clear one more thing, and that is what? Subnetting. See, if you are not good at IP and subnetting, and then you are not a network engineer. I would be very honest with you guys. You need to have this very strong foundation of IP and subnetting. Only then you can go with the higher other concepts, right? So yes, sometimes if you find my English is not that much accent wise and everything, so yes, it's not my native language, let me be very honest, and I'm trying so that this free training can help as much guys as possible. So yes, I'm producing this content in English also, but yes, as you know, this channel was initially I started for Hindi, and I have uploaded everything regarding CCNA in Hindi, but so pardon me if there is any language related issues, right? Okay, so what we are going to discuss in subnetting, why we need subnetting, and how to do subnetting in 5 easy steps, and then about subnet mask and some other related terms, right? So let's get started. So okay, this is the first slide, and what we need to know about this slide is that when we were studying IP, okay, so IP means there are 5 classes: class A, B, C, D and E. So class D, that is a reserved class for your multicast addressing. Class E was reserved for maybe your future uses, right? And we only discuss class A, class B and class C. So we use only these addresses, right? And in these 3 classes we have public IP and we have private IP again. Okay, so either it is a public IP or it is a private IP. It have 2 parts. One is network part and one is host part. So by using these network and host part, you can identify, suppose if you have this 10.2.3.123 IP, what is the network ID? So by default, as you know, that class A has 8 network bits and 24 host bit. It means 10, this is network part, 10 dot, and these are host part. So we discussed what is network ID. So network ID is an ID where all host parts are zeros. So this is your network ID. So initially, by default in IP addressing, we have 2 parts, network and host, right? But when we are discussing about subnetting, there is one more part added, which is sub network. Okay, so what is this sub network? So let's discuss about this, and let's get to know why we have added this third part. Okay, so for that we need to know what is subnetting first of all, right? So if I talk about the definition of subnetting, so what is subnetting? Subnetworking. So in a way, so yes, subnetting is the process to divide a complete bigger network into multiple smaller sub networks. Okay, so what we mean by that, see, let's take this example, like this is ISP. Okay, especially in public IP addressing, this is customer 1, this is customer 2, customer 3, and like we have thousands and thousands, millions of customer per ISP. Okay, and this is a suppose it is a home user, this is some small office. Okay, it is come like you can say home office. Okay, it is some enterprise network. Okay, it is some mid-sized network. It can be, customer can be of any size, right? Suppose here we only need one IP address to run internet in my internal PCs. Small office, maybe I need 5 IPs, maybe I need 2 IP addresses, maybe I need here 100 IP addresses, like this. So what ISP is doing, they are providing IP addressing, public IP addressing to the customers. Okay, now which is the class that provide minimum number of IP addresses or host? So that is class C. There we have like this 192.119.10.0/24. Now what is this 24? As you know, in class C we have 24 number of network bits and we have 8 number of host bits, right? So this number of network bits we represent like this slash value, or we say prefix notation, right? So this slash value represent total number of network bits. So by default in class A we have /8, in class B we have /16, and in class C we have /24. Okay, class A 8 network bits, class B 16 network bits, and class C 24 network bits. Now if we are assigning, if ISP is assigning class C IP to a customer, it means they are providing how many IP addressing? 256 total. And if we minus 2 from that, because one is reserved for your network ID and one is reserved for your broadcast ID, it means total are 256. Class C, maybe they assigned this network to this customer, this one to this customer. Okay, so 190, okay, this is not 192, this is 190.0 to 190.90.90.255. this is the complete block reserved for this customer only. And just see, maybe there are 1 IP addresses are needing, 10 or 2 IP addresses are needing, but how many total we are getting? 256. And how many usable we are getting? 256 minus 2 is equal to 254. So you can see we are wasting more than 240 IP addresses, which is not acceptable in internet, in public IP. Otherwise we would not survive this internet in 2020. We would have been out of IP address space by 2000 maybe, right? So how we sustained this internet, how we saved IP addresses? So INA came up with some concepts in 1990s, early 1990s, that for a long-term solution we should develop some address space which has more IP addresses, like IPv6 address, right? But for the time being they provided some concepts, and first was I discussed in IP addressing, which was your public IP and private IP concept, right? And by using that, what we did, we divided the complete IP class into 2 parts. One is private IP and one is public IP. Okay, so we saved a lot of IP addresses from there. But again, in public, again we are wasting some addresses. How to prevent that wastage? So what should we do if there are 256 number of IP addresses in class C network? Because we cannot have less than this, because there is no class such class which provide IP addresses less than 256. No, right? Okay, so we can do like this. 10 addresses are needed here. Okay, so 10 should be given to this customer, right? So remaining are 250, 246. 5 are needed here. Okay, 5 should be given to here, 241. Maybe 100 are needed here, minus 100, 141. It means what I'm doing, I am not assigning complete network to a single customer. No, what I'm doing, dividing this bigger network into multiple smaller sub networks. So this process is known as subnetting. So I hope you guys are clear with this and how to do this. Basic idea of subnetting is to divide complete IP space, complete IP network into multiple smaller subnetworks so that they could have their IP addressing as per their need, right? Okay, so this is the definition part, and how practically achieve that we'll do in subnetting part. So actually what is the idea? See, if you talk about class C, 190, 90, 90 and 0/24, and by the way it's not class C, I'm sorry for that, it's 198 maybe, right? Because 190 means class B. Okay, so 198, and I'd like to have the symmetry, so it's okay if you use 90 or whatever, just have some number here, class C. Okay, so what we mean that it has 24 network bits and 8 host bits, so it is like that. So 4, 6, 8, again 8, 8. Okay, pardon me if these are less or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means in class A, class C, there are 24 network bits, network and 8 host bits, and by using these host bit sorry, we created 256 total host. Yes or no? Because we know, just remember this thing, networks are created, just a second, what I'm doing, just a minute, just a second. Yes, now I can use it, right? So what I'm doing, using these 8 bits, I'm creating these 256 number of hosts. But if you will see, I don't need 256 hosts. Maybe let's take the example of 50 only. I need only 50 addresses. So what to do, how to lower this value 256? So if I do it like this, 2 raised to the power 7, what it will be, 2 into 2 into 2 into 7 times, right? So it will be 128. Okay, so it's less than 256, so it is closer to this, right, in comparison to 256. Again, if I will do 2 raised to the power 6, it will be 2 into 2 into 6 times 64, right? Closer, more closer. 2 raised to the power 5, 32. Okay, so I can have this sense that my 50, this required number, lies in between these two values, 32 and 64. So 32 is less, we cannot have lesser number, we can have more number. Okay, so 64 is enough. So it means I only need 6 bits for 50 host. So what do we mean by that? Just remember this part, that networks or sub networks are created by using network bits, right, and hosts are created by using host bits. So this is exactly what we have done here, that using these 8 host bits we have 256 IPs. So if I need to lower this value, I need to lower this power also. So what I'm doing, you need to remember these values, okay, or you can calculate if you don't want to save time, but that is not a good idea. So just remember these values always. So let me write them for you. So okay, 2 raised to the power 8 means 256, 2 raised to the power 7 means 128, 2 raised to the power 6 means 64, 5 means 32, 4 means 16, 3 means 8, 2 raised to the power 2 means 4, and 2 raised to the power 1 means 1. So it means if there is some requirement that okay, there is this company X and it need to create like 100 IP addresses, it need 100 systems. So how many host bits it need to have these many IP addresses? So what should be your answer? It is more, it is closer, it is less. So not this one, not this one, you need 7 bits. Okay, So yes, so now okay, in last example I needed 6 bits for this to have 50 host. I need only 6 bits. Okay, so I don't need 8 bits for host. Now I only need 6 bits. So what to do with remaining 2 bits? Okay, so it will be like this now. So let me change the pen. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and like this. Now if you will see, I only need 1 2 3 4 5 6 bits for host, 50 hosts, and but we have total 8 bits. These two are left. What should I do? I would convert them into 1. So what I'm doing actually, I am extending the network part, right? So network part is from left to right always, and when you are using host part, that is from right to left. So when I was needing these bits, 6 bits to create host, so I was writing from here 0 0 0 0 and 0, 6 zeros. So these 2 bits were left and I don't need them in host part. So what I'm doing, I am adding them into network part. So now my previous part was /24. I had 24 network bits, but now this is 26 because I have made 2 more bits on. I have added 2 more parts in network part. So this is the idea behind subnetting. Okay, so actually see, now see at this one, that what I'm doing in the network and host part. See, this was the network part and this is the host part. What I'm doing, adding subnetwork part. Those 2 bits I'm adding as subnetwork part. So this is the idea behind subnetting, that what I'm doing, I'm adding the host part, extra host part into network part. Or what I'm doing, I am lowering the number of host bits by lowering the number of sorry for that. What I'm doing, I am lowering the number of host required or host addresses by lowering the number of host bits. So if you are not clear with that, once again with this example, 2 raised to the power 8 to 56 by default is this in class C, but I don't need 256, I need less number. So what I will do, I will make this number less. Simple as that. This is the concept. And if you need maybe only 4 bits, 16, maybe I need only 10 IPs. Okay, so 4 bits are enough for me. Now it will be like this, 004 bits, and 4 bits are left, and those I converted into ones, means network part. So in class C initially it was 24, now it will be 28. So just remember, subnetting is all about changing the prefix notation. So this is one more thing to know about subnetting, that yes, when we are doing subnetting, so always we are changing the prefix notation. And what is prefix notation? It is the total number of network bits. Okay, so I hope this basic idea of subnetting is clear to you, right? So let's see some other theoretical part about subnetting in the coming slides. Okay, so okay, introduction. So just read about this. Okay, you will be get along. I don't need to explain this much, right? What is subnetting? Okay, I told you about this. Single network into multiple subnetworks, and borrowing bits from host field and adding them to the network field. So now results are more number of subnetworks. So yes, we will deal with this, and I will tell you why we have more number of subnetworks. So again, let me give you some other example also, one last example to make this point clear. So it is like subnetting is like this. Maybe there are parents and a father or a mother, maybe they have one child. Okay, so they have extra income of maybe like $100 or 100 rupees. So they have one child. All of this is given as pocket money to this one child. Now they have one more child, they have 2 children, right? Now this is their earning. Again, either they double their earning so that they could have 200 rupees and divide into each 100 and 100, but no, their earnings are not increasing. And how we can relate this by IP? Because total number of IP are same. We cannot increase this number because IP is only 32-bit number. Okay, so their earning is same. And again, what we need to do, we need to divide the same addresses into multiple subnetworks. So what I'm doing, to each children I am giving 50 and 50 rupees. So it is like same. So if I give you this idea again, just a second. See, suppose there are 4 switches and there are 4 local area networks. This one, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so what I need 50, 50, 50 and 50. In each LAN you need 50 PCs or 50 hosts, 50 IP addresses are needed. Now what you need to do, 192, 168, suppose you are taking this example, 192.68.10.0, this example, this network, and I will divide this into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. So total IPs were like 256 divided into 4 part. So each part will have 64 IP addresses. So 0 to 63. So initially this range was 0 to 255 in single network, but now in 4 sub networks it will be from 0 to 63, 64 to 127, 128 to 191 and 192 to 255. So this is the idea of subnetting, means from 1 to 62 IP addresses will be assigned to this. This 0 is network ID for this 63 is broadcast ID for this network. Again 64 is network ID for this network, 127 is broadcast ID for this network, and .65 to .126 can be assigned as IP addresses on these devices, right? Again in the same way, this is network ID, broadcast ID, network ID, broadcast ID, first usable IP and last usable IP. So this is again the concept of subnetting. So we have same number of IP addresses, but we are dividing them into more number of sub networks. So all of IP addresses, they are not assigned to a single addresses, single network. So this is the way we can prevent the wastage of IP addresses, right? So I hope this basic concept. See, most of the time what I have seen, the guys, the students that face problem in subnetting, because they don't have the clear foundational understanding of what is subnetting. Once your why, once your what is clear now, then I don't think you will face some foundational challenges with subnetting. No, it will be clear to you. Okay, need of subnetting, so you can read about this, just have a theoretical look. And okay, it's always good to have like not more than 500 hosts in one subnet. So let me give you one practical example for that. Just a second, let's get to this packet tracer. Okay, and suppose we have this switch and I need to connect what should I say, 1100 host in my single network. Okay, 100 like this. So I need to connect 1100 host in my network, but this switch has only 24 ports or maybe 48 ports. What I need to do, I need to add more switches. So it will be like this. Okay, so fine, so you are getting the idea. Like this, I will need the number of switches, and again I will connect them with this switch. So I need to increase. So there are other technologies, I'm just giving you the example how to create and why to create sub networks. Okay, I'm just giving you this practical example, so just bear with me. Okay, so this is how you will connect your devices so that they could give you more number of ports. Now you can see 24. So according to the need, suppose you have 20 ports on a switch, 4 ports are for extra purposes. So 20 into 50, it will equal to 1000. Means 50 switches will roughly give you 1000 ports, and 5 more switches, 55 switches you will need to have 1100, 50 or 55 switches roughly. Now if you are adding devices like this, see 1, 2, so maybe they are your 1100 devices and span across your network and different floors, different buildings, different branches, different sites like this, and you are bringing them onto same network. And yes, you can do that because we know switches are layer 2 devices. They work on local area network and they are just used to extend your network. So you can say that. Okay, so if I'm connecting these devices like this and creating a single network from that, and if I assign a single network IP to them, so just a second, like this, and again, so let me give you the why we don't prefer such networks. We can do that, but why we don't do this? Say, let me assign IP address class A. It would be good because class C only give you 256 hosts, but I need 1100. So yes, class B is enough, not class A also. Class B is enough. .1. Okay, so if I assign IP to this network PC, to this one PC, and so on and on, right? And I'm assigning to this one also. Next stop IP, and maybe this is 255.254 last IP. Okay, so what is the disadvantage, you can say, or demerit of such networks? Okay, so if you will go to simulation and if you will send some packet here, see this one and this one, so this broadcasting that you will see, it will be forwarded out to each of the switches. Can you see that? This broadcast traffic, so this is the wastage of your bandwidth. See, they are not replying, but they are getting the message. So this broadcast message need to be processed by all of the end devices, all of the hosts. Okay, I've not assigned IP here, otherwise all of them would be rejecting this message. Only this one will reply. So you know, in switched networks, devices keep on communicating with destination networks, destination your devices, host and PCs and laptops and access points and your servers, etc, etc, like phone and cameras, right? So there is this traffic, and I need to reduce this traffic of this broadcasting. So what I need to do, this is a single broadcast domain. See, because switches create single broadcast domain, broadcasting is on all of the devices. So what we need to do, we need to break this broadcast, right? So to do that, Cisco suggests what, that you should have only 500 hosts in one subnet. Okay, so what we mean by that, that you should do like this. These number of switches I connected on one switch. Okay, so let's divide these into two parts. So what I would do, take one more switch like this and bring them on this network. Okay, so like that, this switch, this one, and this one. So what I'm doing, actually here I used different network 172.19. okay, what I would do here, I would use a different network, that would be like 20. Okay, different network, and this address will be used here, here and here. Okay, so this was using a different network. This was 19 and this was 20, but now using subnetting, what I would do, I would divide it into two parts. Okay, so for that I would change subnet mask, and how would I do that, I will tell you in a moment. So yes, .0. so okay, like this I can change this single network 172.19.0.0 into two sub networks. One can be assigned here, one can be assigned here, and these two will not communicate with each other because now they are not in the same network. To communicate these, we need a layer 3 device in between them, like this. A router can only communicate between these two. So now it makes sense to you. And if you have just a basic rough idea, then when I will be doing that practical part, it will get cleared. Okay, so yes, so that theoretical part is clear to you, I hope, and practical part is also that why we need subnetting. Okay, because we need to do subnets, smaller segments of the network, and each network should be assigned a different subnet ID, network ID, that I'd say. So yes, let's move on to the next part. Okay, need of subnetting. So this is that I have, I think, discussed here. Okay, yes, this one I have also discussed, right? So okay, let's get started with the subnetting part. Okay then, so let's start with class C, right? It is easy to do, and once we are clear with the concepts, then we will do the subnetting of class B and class A. Okay then, so 192.68.1.0 we are starting with the private address example, so which need to be subnetworked. Okay, as per the default values we have 256 hosts in class C. We know that because we have 8 host bits. But what this one is saying, I only need 30 hosts in a network. Okay, or I need 5 subnetwork each with 30 hosts. So what I mean by that, I don't need a single network where I need 256 hosts. No, I don't need that. What I need 5 different subnetworks, right? And each should have 30 hosts maximum. At least 30 hosts are needed there. Now I need to do what? 30 into 5 is equal to 150. One network ID, one broadcast ID. So 30 plus 2. See, 30 plus 2, it should be like this, because 30 are valid hosts and one IP is needed for network ID and one IP is needed for broadcast ID. So ultimately what I need, 30 plus 2, 32 hosts. And how many networks? 5. So actually I need 160 addresses. And as you can see, class C provide you 256 addresses in one network. So you can see we can divide this into 5 parts and we can have this number of hosts. So we don't need class B for that requirement, such requirement. We don't need A class. So we can have this requirement fulfilled in the class C itself. Okay, right. So what it is saying here, that by default this is the value /24, but /24 gives you 8 hosts, which gives you 256 total host addresses. But you don't need 256, you only need 30 or 32, right? So to get 32, I told you that 2 raised to the power should be what to get 32. So 2 raised to the power 6 gives you 64, 2 raised to the power 5 gives you 32, 2 raised to the power 4 gives you 16. So yes, this is the right choice for me. So I need 5 host bits. So host bits required are 5. So now network bits should be 27, because always remember, network bits plus host bit must always be equal to 32, because IP is only of 32 bits length, right? So I need only 5 bits, but these were number of host bit, means total 8 bits we were having, but I need only 5 bits. So these 3 I converted into ones, means network part. So now 24 are by default on bits and plus 3 are new on bits. So as a result we have 27 prefix notation. So I hope this is clear to you, how to find this new prefix notation, and based on what? Based on these requirements, right? Okay, so coming to the next slide. So the trick for doing subnetting is to find out the required magic number, right? It is also called as magic number, and it is actually what I prefer it to say prefix notation. Why it is prefix notation? Why it is not postfix? Because see, slash this value, it is for network bits, right? And network host, this is written as in all of the classes. So network bit comes first, host bit comes last, right? So this is pre value, this is kind of post value, and what we are writing here, pre values, these network bits. So this is the reason it is prefix notation. If we were writing host bits here, then we would be writing postfix notation, right? So this is the reason maybe that they call it prefix notation, because it is representing number of network bits. Okay, so right, subnetting is all about changing the prefix notation. So this is that I have written here, you can see that part. So let's get to the next slide. Default value of different IP classes, you know that, right? By default class A has 8 network bits and 24 host bits. Class B has 16 network bits and class C has your 24 network bits, right? Okay, so coming to the next slide. Analyze it by this way, taking this example. So this is the example that I have given you. Okay, 4 subnetworks, you will need /26. How? If you need 4 subnetwork, you need to own 2 bits. So let's not get into this for now. Okay, once we are done with the subnetting part from host side, network side will be automatically cleared. Okay, so don't get into this now. Following is how. Okay, don't get into this. I am waiting for not this one, not this one. So this slide is only for your reference. What I need to do, I told you about subnet mask. What is subnet mask in IP addressing part? So if you are not clear with this, you need to watch the IP addressing video first once again, right? So you must be clear with what is subnet mask. So I have written it here, so go through it, right? So actually, what is subnet mask? It is kind of an IP address, similar to IP address, which tells us about network part and host part of an IP address. And by default, you know, class A has this subnet mask 255.0.0.0. Class B has this subnet mask by default, and class C has this subnet mask by default. What is the reason? Because see, in class A we have 8 network bits, class B we have 16 network bits, and class C we have 24 network bits, right? By using these 8 network bits like this, I have all zeros, zeros, zeros. Class A I'm talking about, and these 8, if I convert into decimal number, I told you that shortcut, that yes, you have these 8 values: 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, right? So how many ones are here, and then you need to add these numbers according to that. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like this, and when you add them, it will result into 255. So as many number of 8s you have, that many number of 255 we have in the subnet mask. So this is the default value, but now you know that we will not have /8 /16 or /24 in the classes. No, now it will be classless. What we mean by classless, that in class C, initially or earlier we were having like this, see, /24, but now we can have /26, /27. So this is not the default value, so it means we cannot have the default subnet mask also. So this in class C, this was default subnet mask without doing subnetting. It means it was classful. You could tell that yes, this is class C address because there are 3255, because there are 8 8 8 24 network bits, but now there are not default values, there are 27 bits, so there will be a different subnet mask, right? So after subnetting, subnet mask also change, so that makes it classless. So it means this can be the subnet mask or prefix notation for this address also, like this. So you can see this is class A, but this is going into class C. So that is the concept of classless IP addresses. So subnetting makes your address classless. You cannot tell which class of IP address is this by looking at the subnet mask anymore. No, this can be the subnet mask of this address, right? And okay, what more I need to tell you about this? Yes, one more thing, how your end devices, your PCs or your phones, how they know that there is subnetting or not. So they will not look at the IP address itself. No, they will look at the subnet mask, the number of ones that you have put. Okay, according to that they will identify, they will process that they have to do the subnetted part or without subnetted classful part. So we don't need to get into that, we just need to know that yes, it is how it works. So I told you about how subnet mask is calculated like this, and I just told you, and in the previous video of IP addressing also we have discussed it. So yes, for 26 it will be like this. We have 2 more ones, and by writing 26 means what? 26 number of ones, and 24 8 8 8 and 2 more. So these 8 result into 255. And what do we mean by these 2? It is like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like this, the same one. And here it is 128, here it is 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2. So I told you, you don't need to add the ones which are falling below 0. No, you only need to add which numbers are below ones. So this will result into 192. So you can remember also this trick for to calculate this subnet mask. So just look here. If you are seeing the value like this, so just look at here. So if it is there like this /25, so subnet mask will be 128. Okay, /26, subnet mask will be 192. 27, 224. 28, it will be 240. 29, 248. 30, 252. 31, 254, and 32, 255. So this is the trick you can remember, and it is coming from this only, like this. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. Right, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay then, so subnetting of this address. Okay, now we are heading towards the interesting part of subnetting, means how to do. Till now we have done what is subnetting, okay, why we do subnetting, means need of subnetting, and idea behind subnetting, and everything like this, right? Subnet mask and everything. Now the core part, how to do subnetting. Okay, right. So I have written here 4 simple steps, but yes, I have improvised this, and we have created 5 steps. So 5 simple steps to make subnetting easy, right? So what are those 5 steps? Let me write them on this paint screen first of all. Okay, so let's get started with this one. Right, so there are 5 steps, and which are those? Subnetting in 5 simple steps. Okay, so first of all, find new subnet mask. Okay, find new subnet mask. Then you need to know total number of subnetworks. So what I told you, that subnetting is about creating subnetwork out of a single bigger network, multiple smaller subnetworks. So how many subnetworks will be there, or how many subnetworks will be needed, it will be find out in this step. Third, total number of hosts or IPs or IP addresses in a single subnet or per subnet, that we say. Means suppose if we are having 8 subnets, then how many addresses will be there in each subnet? 32 into 8, 256. So yes, it will be 32, but yes, how we find it, it will be in this step. Then what will be the next step? IP range. How to find IP range, and what is IP range? Finally, address blocks. Okay, so these are 5 steps that we will do in subnetting. So let's do that and take example of what was here, so that it is easy for you to read from this slide also. 192.168.1.0/27. okay, 192.168.1.0/27. okay, what was the first step, right? So /27 means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 1 2 3 ones and 5 zeros. I told you already, right? Why we are doing this 3 and 5 means I only need 5 host bits, and remaining 3 bits I have converted into network part. Okay, so now what should be the new subnet mask? First of all, new subnet mask, right? So what is that? By using these 8 bits we are having 255, 255, 255, and by using 3 bits I told you /27 means 2 to 4. How? 128 plus 64 plus 32, it will result into 2 to 4. So this is the new subnet mask, right? Now total number of subnets or subnetworks obtained. So how to find this? I told you at one point in this video that networks are created by using network bits and hosts are created using host bits. Now to find this, we need to know how many network. So this is the crux of this, just pay attention. Network bits are 27 and host bits are 5. Yes or no? From here, these are network bits and remaining are 5 host bits. How to find this? Look at here, this one will be the network bits, okay, and how many remaining bits? 32 minus 27, this one, so that will be 5, or you can see from here also, right? So this is how you will find host bits. Now important part, new on bits. New on bits 24, this is the class. Which class is this? Means how to find new on bits, just listen to me. Which class is this? C class na? So remember the default value in class C, default prefix notation, this one. So I think this was 24, right? And what is written now? 27. So what is the difference here? 3. So it means initially it was 24, but now it is 27. So we have converted 3 zeros into ones. We have added 3 part into network bits. So this is the new on bits. Suppose we are using like 29. So how many new on bits are there now? So in by default class C has 24, but now it is 29. So 29 minus 24, it will be 5. So you can use common sense also or the formula also. Now new on bits are 3, and again off bits are, how many off bits are there? So you can see 5. So actually what we are doing, we are not changing these 3 parts, means already these are network parts, we are modifying the host part. So initially all 8 bits were zeros, means all 8 bits were host bits, but now from those 8 only 5 are host and these 3 are new on, means network bits. So this is the game. Subnetting is game about these 2 bits, right? How it is the game of these 2 bits? Just remember, total number of subnets obtained means 2 raised to the power. Why we are using base 2? Because we are dealing with the binary number. IP is binary number. So 2 raised to the power number of new on bits. Make sense? So now it will be 2 raised to the power. What is the number of new on bits? It is 3. So we have divided this single bigger network, this one, which was giving me total 256 IP and range from 0 to 255. Now it is divided into 8 subnets. Okay. So what is the next part? Third, total number of hosts per subnet, right? Total number of hosts per subnet. What do we mean by that? See, in each network, how many addresses, how many IPs will be there, right? So how to find this? It will be 2 raised to the power number of off bits or remaining bits. These are remaining bits. So it will be in resulting into 2 raised to the power, how many off bits are there? 5 to the power 5 is equal to 32. So it will be 32 IP addresses per network. Or if you will see by common sense that yes, it was class C. So in class C there are total number of 256 addresses, but now we are dividing them into 8 parts. So dividing by 8, so it will result into 32, right? So this is by common sense or this is by formula also, right? So this is the this is about first 3 parts. How to do that? New subnet mask you will calculate, and how to find new subnet mask. See, you have written this 27 and you know the default value was 24, so you have calculated this one. This 27 means 27 ones and remaining 5 zeros, and that will result into this subnet mask. What was second part? Total number of subnets obtained. How to find that? 2 raised to the power number of new on bits. And how to find new on bits? See, just look at here, 192. So what is this? This is the class C. Okay, class C has 24 bits, but now it is not 24, it is 27. So it means we have made on 3 bits, 25, 26, 27. So these are the new on bits. So 3 bits. right? So 27 minus default value, which was 24. If it was class B, for example, let's take this, let's say this was 190.90.0.0/27. so now it is class B. In class B, default value is 16, but now we are having 27. So how many on bits are there? 27 minus 16, it means 11 bits are on. So this is how you will find. If it was only 90, means class A, so it would be 27 minus 8, means 19 bits were on. Off bits are same, these 5 are off only. Okay, so the game is to find new on bits. And why we need to find new on bits? For the next step. Okay, and yes, just a second. So we found that yes, this is the way to find the new on bits. So once we found new on bits, in this example, this is a class C address and here is 27. So 27 minus 24, it will be 3. And by using this second, total number of subnets obtained, this is the second step. And how to find that? 2 raised to the power number of new on bits. New on bits are 3. 2 raised to the power 3 means this single bigger network, it will be divided into 8 smaller subnetworks. And how many addresses will be there in each network? That is like this. Third step, total number of hosts per subnet, 2 raised to the power number of off bits. And how many off bits are there? 5. And yes, 2 raised to the power 5 is equal to 32. And these are total addresses, by the way, total addresses. And how to find the valid total means including network ID, total host, and plus subnet ID, broadcast ID. Now valid addresses will be 32 minus 2 is equal to 30. So you should remember this, always remember this. Okay, now what is the next step? Step 4. It is IP range. What is IP range? Let's take this example. Just a second, let me open a packet tracer topology. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so just look at this one, this example, that we have taken 192.68.10.0 example. Okay, so initially this was a single network and IPs were assigned from 10.1 to 10.254. okay, so this was a single network. This one was a single network. All of the devices were pinging with each other. Okay, but what I needed was 4 different subnets, means separate 4 subnets, right? So what I did, I divided them into 4 subnets by using subnetting. Okay, so this is like what I did. So initially in the previous example, I was having /27. So it means I was having 8 subnets, but now we are having only 4 subnets. So just look at this example, what I mean by IP range. So initially 192.168.1.0 and 192.168.1.255 are example, right? So this is the 10.0 example and mine example was 1.0. so it doesn't matter which example, which network ID you have taken, basics are same. Okay, so this was in one network, but I divided them into first, second, third and fourth network. Now you can see 10.0 to 10.63, this is the first subnet. So it means I have divided the range into 4 different parts. This was default range without subnetting. Now range is different. So again 64 to 127, 128 to 191, 192 to 255. So how to find these ranges? This is the question. Means 256 IPs are total, divided into 4 parts. Each network have 64. So which addresses, which IP will be given to this one, this network and this network? So 0 to 63, it means these IP are the part of first network. 64 to 127 are the part of second network. 128 to 191 are the part of third network, and finally 192 to 255. How to find these ranges? If you can find by common sense, this is simple. 64 number means 0 to 1 less than 64, because 0 is also there, right? 0 to 63 total are 64. Again the next number in next network will start from the next number from 63, that is 64. Again 64 to 127 makes 64 number. So just not get into this, because in class A and class B we cannot do like this. So we need to have a proper standard formula for that. So let's again get into the same example that we take in the previous example. So what was the example? Once again let me repeat. So it was 192.168.1.0/27. new subnet mask was this one, and total subnets were 8. Then total IPs per subnet was 32, valid is 30. Number 4, now I need to find the IP range. Okay, so how to find range? There is a simple formula for that. See, 255 255 255 255. Just write this one, total subnet mask is there, and divide this number from this number per octet like this, 255 255, and this is 224. So what will be the number? 00031. Okay, so this is the range. And how to find the practical range from this one? So okay, so that will be under 5th step. What was the 5th step? That was to find address block or network blocks. So first subnetwork will be starting from the base network ID. So that is this one, 192.168.1.0, plus add this ID, this range, to get the subnet ID, sorry, broadcast ID. So 0.0.0.31. it means starting from 192.168.1.0, this will go to 192.168.1.31. it means this is the range for first network. So what do we mean by that? This is the network ID for first network, and this is the broadcast ID for first network, and 1.1 will be first usable IP, and 1.30 will be the last usable IP of first subnetwork. So this is about first subnet. Okay, what about second one? If I talk about second subnet, okay, how to find that? So you can see .31 is for the broadcast ID of first subnetwork. Okay, now second subnet will start from the next number. So that will be 192.168.1.32. this is the network ID of second subnet. And how to find the broadcast ID? Just add this range. So you can see, if you understand this range concept, to find this block is very easy. So 192.68.1.0.0.0, there will be no difference. But yes, when you will add 31 into 32, it will be up to 63. So this is up to you. Total IPs are 32. If you can remember by yourself that yes, 32 to 63 will be total 32, you can do by this. Or if you just want to stick to the concept, to the formulas, just find the network ID and add the range into that, and that will give you the broadcast ID, like that. So what I need to do? Network ID, find network ID and add IP range into that, and that will give you the broadcast ID, like this. Okay, and valid range will be .33 to .62. so this is first usable IP, and this is your last usable IP. So how many networks we are having? 8 subnetworks. Okay, so 5th step will be giving you like this, something like this. Just a second. So yes, first network is from 0 to 31, then second from 32 to 63, 64 to 95, 96 to 127. So what I'm doing, adding 31 in these network ID everywhere, you will find the same result. 0 plus 31, 31, 32 plus 31, 63, 64 plus 31, 95. Okay, but you need to remember 63 is the broadcast ID. You cannot use 63 here. So this network ID, you will find it even number. Broadcast ID, you will find it odd number. Just remember it. Okay, network IDs are even number, broadcast IDs are odd numbers. Okay, 128 to your 161, or maybe 159, then 160. So ultimately it will be from 224 to 255. So this is the way you will divide a complete network, bigger single network, into 8 small sub networks. So I hope the basic idea is clear to you. Basic idea. I'm not saying that you are expert in just with this single example or with this single video, but what I'm saying that yes, basics are clear to you by taking this example. So let's take one more example and maybe this idea will be more concrete to you. So let's take this example, maybe 195.95.95.0 slash 28. Okay, 28. So what is the first step? Find the new subnet mask. So it will be like 111118881234123 like this. So what should be the subnet mask? 255, 255, 255, and for 4 it should be 240. 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16, right? Okay, so it will be 240. Now what was the second step? Find total subnets. So that will be 2 raised to the power number of on bits. So how many number of on bits are there? You can see 4. How to find that? This is class C. Okay, 24. What is the number here? 28. Okay, minus, so that would be 4. So 2 raised to the power 4 means we have total 16 subnets, means this single network will be divided into 16 subnetworks. Fine. What is the third step? Find the total IP per network. That would be 2 raised to the power number of off bits. And how many off bits we are having? 4. So yes, each subnets will have 16 IPs. Fine. Fourth step, what is the IP range? Find that. 255, 255, 255.255 minus this subnet mask. So that will be, you can say 00015. Fantastic. Fifth step, what should be the first subnet? Sorry for that. 195.95.95.0 plus this IP range. So that would be 195 plus 0, 195, 95 plus 0, 95, 95 plus 0, 95, and 0 plus 15, this one. So you can see this is the block or the address range for the first subnetwork. So again remember, these are not 15 addresses, these are 16 addresses, but from those total 16, valid are only 14 because this is network ID not used on devices, broadcast ID not used. So valid IPs will be from .1 to .14. So yes, total or valid are 16 minus 2 is equal to 14. So that would be from 195.95.95.1 to .14. Okay, what about second subnet? That would be from next, from this 16, 195.95.95.16. again it would be from 16 plus 15, 31. Second, third will be 32 to 47. Fourth will be 48 to. So you can have this idea. Now it will be the 16th subnet will be what? 240 to 255. How to find that? As we were adding IP range here na, to find the broadcast ID from network ID, what I did? To find broadcast ID, I did this network ID plus IP range. But now we need to find this network ID. How to find this? This will go this side. So broadcast ID minus IP range will give you the network ID. So this is that I did. Last, I know that any IP finally can go up to maximum 255. Okay, so this will be the broadcast ID of last subnet, which is 16th, this number. So I found that yes, .255, 195, 95, 95.255 will be the broadcast ID for last subnet. Okay, to find the network ID of last subnet, what I did? I minus this range from this number, right? So it will give me the network ID of last number. So to find the broadcast ID of 15th, so 240 is the network ID of 16th, it will be .239. As you can see, 15, 16. So 16 is the network ID of second subnet. So the broadcast ID of first subnet will be -1 at here. So these are same concepts. If you will see, if you will properly practice this one. So yes, this is that we have done the subnetting of class C address, right? So I hope we should take one last example for that. 200.200.200.0 slash, it should be your 29. Okay, let's take this last example of class C, then we will do the subnetting of class B address. Again, what was the first part? To find the subnet mask, new subnet mask. So how to find that? 1 2 3 4 5 6 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 8. Then yes, 29 means we have on 5 bits and off bits are 3. How to find that? There are 32 total bits and 29 are network bits. So yes, 3 are host bits. Again, these are number of network bits, these are number of host bits. And how to find new on bits? So which class is this? C class. Okay, C class has default 24 number of network bits, but now we can see 29. So 29 minus 24, it gives me 5. So if you don't want to do this every time, so you can find the new on bits from this number only, right? So from now on, I expect that you guys will not do this thing. So what you will do? Again, if I take this example from scratch, and if I ask you guys that yes, what should be the number of new on bits? So how to find that? Just see the class. So this is C class and there are 24 network bits, but now it is written 29. So yes, 5 are new on bits. Again, how many off bits should be there? Total are 32, 29 are on, so off means host, and that is 3. So yes, first step will be to find new subnet mask, and that will give me 225, 255, 255, and by using 5 bits it means 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8, and that will give me 248, right? So this is the new subnet mask. Okay, what about second subnet? Find the total number of subnetworks, right? 2 raised to the power number of new on bits, and that was 5. So we have divided this single bigger network into 32 smaller subnetworks, right? In each network we will have 2 raised to the power 3, because 3 is the number of off bits. We will have 8 hosts per subnetwork, and you can see 32 into 8, the number should always be equal to 256, because in class C network there are only 256 IP per network. Okay, now what is the fourth part? To find IP range. For that, 254, 255, 255, 255, and I need to minus this, so it will be 248. So yes, when this number increases in network part, this number will decrease in host parts. Okay, so means the number of sub networks I'm creating, the host addresses will be less and less in each sub network. Okay, so it will be 0.7, means there are total 8 IP addresses in each network, right? And this is the range. And fifth step, what will be the first sub network? It will be from 200.200.200.0 to 200.200.7. This is network ID, this is broadcast ID. What about second subnet? This will be .8 to .15. Third, .16 to .23. What about last 32? It should be subnet mask, broadcast ID will be 255. And how to find network ID when we have the broadcast ID minus IP range? So what is the range? 7. To 255 minus 7, it would be 248. So yes, the last network ID of 32 subnetwork, it will be this. So I hope this concept is clear to you guys. Just practice at subnetting.org or some other similar subnetting site, and you will find plenty of examples, and just practice them. And if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment sections, and maybe if you will ask, we can arrange some Zoom session for you guys where we can discuss this for an hour, or maybe some Google Meet for an hour. So I have no problem solving your doubts and one by one facing you guys. Yeah, so I will be looking forward for that. So just let me know in the comments that yes, you need that. Okay, so we are done with the subnetting of class C. Now we have the basic strong foundation about subnetting. So let's start the same with class B. Okay, class B network subnetting. So let's take this example 190.190.0.0. so /16, this is default value, but what I want, that I don't want here to be 16, I want some different number here. Okay, so what to do? Not 16, maybe it is your 21. Alright, so now you can see this is the type of example, and I will tell you what type of questions can be asked in the exam or in the interviews regarding subnetting of any class. Okay, I will tell you that, don't worry, we will discuss that and we will solve some questions. So yes, 21 means what was the first step? Find the new subnet mask. What will be that? 255.255. it will be like that, 8 in octet 1, 8 bits, 8 network bits in octet 2, 16, 5 network bits in third octet, and 0 in fourth. Means there are no network bits in fourth octet. Okay, so 8 will give me 255, 8 will give me 255, and 5 will give me 248, like this. Okay, right. So okay, so this is the first part or first step to find new subnet mask. And what about the second one? What was the second step? To find total number of subnetworks. For that we need to do 2 raised to the power number of new on bits. What is the number here? See, 21. And which is the class? Class B. So there we have only 16 network bits, but we have now written 21. So 21 minus 16, we have 5 new on bits. So 2 raised to the power 5. It means we have divided this B class network, single network, into 32 smaller subnetworks. Okay, now third step, to find the number of host or number of IP addresses in each subnet. So that will be 2 raised to the power number of off bits, and we know this 21 is network bits and remaining bits will be host bits. So total bits are 32 IP and 21 is network bits, so it will give me 11 host bits. So you can find it from here, but yes, if you are facing difficulty, you can take that longer approach. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 16, but 21 means 1 2 3 4 5, then 3 zeros and again 8 zeros, like that. So yes, these are 8 plus 3 11 host bits, and 8 16 5, these 21 are your network bits. Okay then, so I don't recommend using this method, this long method. Okay, I'm sorry for that, I need to redo that, just a second. Okay, so in third step, what we need to do, we need to find the off bits. So what is that? 21 is the number of network bits, so we found that yes, host bits are 11, 2 raised to the power 11. So just don't get confused with this number that it will be 2048. No, we don't need to find that. Okay, so what we need to do, actually we are not interested in this number, much interested in this, we are actually interested in this next step, which is IP range. Okay, so for that you just need to remember that in each octet there cannot be more than 8 bits in one octet. Now what we need to do for that, yes, this 11 bits we need to divide it into two parts, 2 raised to the power 3 and 2 raised to the power 8. Just look at here, that in first part 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like that. Do we have any host bit in this octet? No, 0. Do we have any host bit in this octet? No. Do we have any host bit? Yes, we have 3 bits, and in this one we have 8 bits, right? So total 11 bits are there, but we don't need to know the total number. No, because we don't need that. And because see, 2 raised to the power 11, okay, it is 2048. We cannot assign 2048 number of addresses, we cannot write this in the IP, so it take only 255 maximum. So to divide that into this assignable address range, we need to divide this 11 into these two parts like this, so that we could have the range, and you will get the hold of it in this example, so don't worry about that. So just find out how to write that. So when we are writing this host number, I told you host always go from right to left, so we need to find that from right to left. So 8 are in the last octet and 3 are in the third octet. So if you are getting hold of it, so that's okay, otherwise don't worry too much about it. Let's get to the next part, IP range. So how to find IP range? Total subnet mask, this one, and new subnet mask, what was that? This one, 255.248.0 minus them, octet by octet, it will be 0.0.7.25. so this is the interesting part. Now see, in class C there were changes only in this fourth octet, but as you can see in class B there are changes in fourth octet and in third octet. So why so? Because I told you, and we already know by default, that in class B there are two host part, so we can change host in two parts. So that is what we are doing. In class C there was only one octet, fourth, and there we could only change in class C. So yes, we need to remember this thing very clearly, that when we will be doing the subnetting of class C, we can only change in the fourth part. When we are doing the subnetting in class B, we can change in third and fourth, both of the octet. When we will be doing the subnetting of class A, we can change in this part, and this part. Okay, so let's get along with that. So what was the range once again? So that was, so let me write that again, 0.0.7.255. okay, so fifth step is what? First subnet. How to find first subnet? So let's take this base example. This will be the network ID of the first part, 190.90.0.0. so this is network ID of first subnet plus IP range. It will give me the broadcast ID. Okay, 190.90.0.0 plus 0.0.7.255, 190.90.0.0. this is my network ID, 190.90.7.255. how? 0 is added into this, no change. 0 is added into this, no change. 7 into this, it is 7, and 255 plus 0 is equal to 25. so this is the complete address block of first subnet. This is the network ID, this is broadcast ID. So yes, this is how you will divide. Okay then, so if we need to find second subnet, how to find that? Okay, so just remember this thing, that second subnet means it will be something like this. Okay, this is the broadcast ID of first subnet. How to find the very next IP from this? I told you in the class IP addressing part, that when this is 255, it will be 0 and it will add plus 1 into the previous octet. So what it will make? 190.90.8.0. so always remember, the IP address next to this will be this one. Okay, so 255 will be 0 and plus 1 will be done in the previous octet. So this is the network ID for second subnet. And how to find the broadcast ID? Add this range again, so it will be 190.90.15.255. so this is the complete range for second subnet. This is network ID, this is your broadcast ID. And what is the valid IP of this network? 190.90.0.1 up to 190.90.7.254. so yes, this is the way you will find, you can find the all 5 steps of class B. And similarly in class A there will be changes in this first octet only. So let me give you that one more example for class A subnetting. Just a second. If we are using class A, that means 10.0.0.0 slash, maybe we are writing let's say 11. Okay, right. What will be the new subnet mask for 11? 255, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 3 and 5 are zeros, 8 zeros and 8 zeros. It means only 11 bits are network and remaining 21 bits will be for host. So it will be 224.0.0. So this is the new subnet mask for this arrangement. Second part will be total number of subnets 2 raised to the power. Now what is the new on bits? This is class A, 8 default, 11 is there, 11 minus 8 it will be 3. So we have 8 subnets. And third part, how many IP addresses per network per subnet? That will be 2 raised to the power number of off bits. How many off bits we are having? 21, because total 32, 11 are network bits, so minus 21 will be there. So 2 raised to the power 21, but I told you it will be divided into 2 raised to the power 8, 2 raised to the power 8, 16 and 2 raised to the power 5, total 21. What was the fourth step? Find the IP range. Okay, how to find IP range? Total subnet mask, this one, and minus this new subnet mask, 255 minus 224.0.0. What is the range? 0.31.255.255. So I told you that yes, in class A subnetting we can change in second octet, third octet and fourth octet. So this is the way we can do subnetting. And if I talk about the fifth step, what is the first subnetwork? That would be this base network 10.0.0.0. Add this range into this, it will go up to 2 raised to 31, 255 to 255. So this is first network ID, first broadcast ID, .1 first usable IP, and 10.31.255.254. This is last usable IP of this network. How to find second subnet? Okay, we can do that. So this is the broadcast ID, and very next IP to this will be the network ID of this next subnet. How to find that? 255 will be 0. It will add 1 into this. Again, you cannot add anything into it. So again it will be 0. It will add plus 1 into this. So okay, 10.32.0.0. This is network ID. Add the range 32 plus 31, 63.255.255. So yes, this is something about subnetting. This is getting a very long video, maybe 1.5 hours. And yes, okay, this is the way, and I have tried my best to give you a basic what to say, not just basic but everything about these 5 steps. If you will practice properly, and everything will be clear to you. And this is something that we have done about FLSM. There are 2 types of subnetting: fixed length subnet mask and variable length subnet mask. If you need to get clarified with more concepts and more examples, so I'm encouraging you to practice from subnetting.org or any other similar website. If you have any doubt, let me know, and maybe in some other video someday I will upload some question and answer, and I will discuss something else about IP, how to solve questions. And finally, let me give you some example of questions that can be asked in interviews and in exams, and from there, so yes, I will try to practically demonstrate how to answer those questions quickly and accurately. Okay, so I'll do that in just a second. Okay, so let's get started with this very first example. So first of all, let me write how many type of questions can be asked. Okay, so yes, one can be find subnet mask. Okay, and there can be something given like this, 10.1.2.3/23. okay, so they will ask you what will be the subnet mask in this arrangement. Next, find prefix notation, magic number, magic length, prefix length. It can be anything. So what I call it, PF notation or prefix notation. Find prefix notation. How? It can be given 255.255.252.0. So you need to find that slash notation. Okay, so these are 2 type of questions first of all. So these are very simple basic questions. How to solve these questions? 10.1.2.3/23. how to find subnet mask? You need to find how many on bits are there. 23 means 8, 8, 16 and 7.0 and then 8 zeros, right? So 8 in first octet, 8 in second octet, 7 in third octet. So these are 8 plus 8 plus 7, 23. So 8 makes 255. 8 makes 255 and 7 makes 254. How? So again same concept, 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2, and that would make 254, right? So this is the answer. This is how you will find. Again, if there was like 29, you will do same. And okay, find prefix notation. How to find that? Okay, prefix notation means total number of network bits, remember? Okay, so how to find network bits from this subnet mask? How many bits make 255? 8 bits. Fine, 255 8 bits. How many bits create 252? So 1 2 3 4 5 6. If you will add these 6 numbers, it will make 252. So how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, right. So 6 in this part, so 8 8 6, so it will be 22. Make sense? So this is how you will find. Or maybe there was 255 dot 255 dot maybe 255 dot 192. How to find that? 255 by 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, and 192 by 1 1 1 2 3 4 5 6. 128 plus 64, it makes 92. So there are only 2 ones, so here we have 2 bits. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 2, it will be 26. So we have prefix notation 26. So this is how you will solve these two type of questions. Again, what can be the other type of questions? 3 and 4. They will ask you, a company need maybe 100 host, right, per subnet, and they need 2 such subnet. Okay, 100 host per subnet and 2 such subnet means 2 networks with each 100 host. They can ask like this. So how to solve this question? And they can ask you class A or class B or class C, or they can give you some IDs, addresses like that, or they can ask you simply what will be the subnet mask or what will be the prefix notation for such arrangement. How to find that? So to find 100 host, you need to do 2 raised to the power 8 is 256, more than that 2 raised to the power 7 128. Okay, closer. 2 raised to the power 6 64. No, it's very less than 100. So yes, we can find this is the ideal arrangement for us. So this is the number of host bits that we need. So yes, host bits required would be 7. So if they are asking you the number of host bits and option are given like 8 7 6 4, so yes, right answer will be B, 7 bits. So yes, they can ask you like this. And again, they can ask both of these things simultaneously at the same time. Like how? That they can give you 8 1 7 1 1 7 4 4 like this. Means how many host bits and how many network bits, right? So in this scenario we need 2 subnets. So for that 2 raised to the power 1 means 2. So if there are only 1 on bit, then we can create 2 subnetworks. So in this arrangement, see in this one, if it was a class A network or class B or class C, anyhow we need just 100 host. So we will be into 4th octet. So that will be like 10.0.0.0 slash 7 bits for host and 32 total. 32 minus 7, it will be 25. Means prefix notation should be 25 because we only need 7 bits. Now how many bits are on here? You can see this was class A. Okay, so class A have 8 default bits, but now we have 25. So 25 minus 8, we have on 17 bits, right? So this is the example, 2 raised to the power 17. This is the number of host, or sorry, number of subnets that we will be achieving, but from these many of networks we only need 2. So yes, in this they cannot ask you such questions, so they need to ask you separately. Otherwise they will give you this proper scenario where the answers will match, right? Or like they can give you this C class address 210. So yes, there they can ask you this question because there is 24 default, 25 now, and only one bit on, and yes, 2 raised to power 1 2, and you need only 2. So how many bits are needed now? 1 bit for 2 subnets. So yes, you can be asked how many bits will be needed to create this number of hosts, or how many bits will be needed to create this many of subnets. So you need to do the same thing, 2 raised to the power number, and that, yes. But yes, you need to remember one thing, when you need to calculate subnet, so you can do like this, but when you need to do host part na, and suppose they are asking you, you need to have 31 hosts in one network, then you cannot do like this, 2 raised to the power 32, okay, 5 bits are sufficient for host. No, because we always need to do -2, because hosts are -2, right? Why? Because we need to separate out network ID and broadcast ID, because we cannot use them on the host. So this is 30, so we cannot use this because we need more than 30 na? So we need 2 raised to the power 6 bits. So 6 bits will be satisfying this condition. Okay, so this is one more type of question that can be asked in the exams or in the interviews, right? So one more type of question that can be asked in exam, and let me remember, yes, so we have discussed 4 type of question. 5th will be, it will be given to you something like this, like 192.7.179/28, okay, like this. So they will ask you, in which range of network and broadcast ID this IP is falling. So let's take again this example, that in which, so yes, okay, let's take this example from the depth approach. How many on bits are here? 4. So there are 16 networks. This single network is created into or divided into 16 sub networks. Okay, now I need to tell you in which sub network this IP is falling. Okay, so if we need to find that range, and your network ID, broadcast ID means this is the range for first subnet, this is the range for second subnet, so it will take time. How to find that, right? Shortcut. So there are 16 subnets and host bit are there 4, so 2 raised to the power 4, again 16 number of hosts into 16 subnet. Okay, so what is the network ID of very first? 192.168.7.0, and it will be from 7.0 to 7.15, first octet, first block. But I don't want to spend time in this, and I want some simple straightforward approach. So what is that approach? Just divide this number by these total number of hosts. These are total number of hosts and these are total number of subnets. So find that dividable number. 16 116, it means 166, and if you will add the range 0 to 15 in this, it will be 181. So this is the network ID and this is the broadcast ID of that block where this IP is falling. Okay, so yes, if they are asking you, they can ask you 4 questions, 5 6 7 8. What type of questions are there? What will be the network ID for this IP? So that is 166. What will be the broadcast ID for this IP? So this is the answer. What will be the first usable address for this IP, where this IP is belonging? So that would be 167. What will be the last IP where this IP is falling? That would be 180. So yes, I hope this is clear to you. And yes, I know the time is not enough for us and I have this limitation. So yes, maybe sometime, especially for this subnetting, I know it's not possible to do this in a single video. My whole point was to clear the basic idea, foundation of subnetting, and I hope that is clear to you. And again, I'm saying you guys, if you need some clarification, some doubt clearance, or maybe from scratch again, so yes, I encourage you guys. I'm sorry for that, I'm losing my flow. It's a too long video, right? So let me allow me to finish this video on this note, that you will ask me openly that you need separate sessions for subnetting and I will not reject your request. So that's my promise to you. And on this note, let me end this video. I hope this video was informative for you guys. and if you find there is any area of improvement, I can improve my training methods, my training material, or any, like, there is anything that we can do better, just let me know in the comments, and yes, it will be implemented. That's my promise. And yes, here are these slides, video slides for your reference. Okay, you can study from these notes, so just take screenshots or whatever, right? Fourth step, in this I have only included fourth step, but now I have taught you by 5 steps, right? Remember this thing. Okay, subnetting in 5 easy steps. So yes, this is for your reference only, because yes, what I have written on the notes, it was only on the whiteboard and I have erased everything, but yes, this is in front of you, you can take the reference anytime. Again, yes, this one, and this different example with the 5 same steps. Subnetting of class C with the example. Yes, so I think this is a different, yes, this is how I calculated that range for each subnet. Okay, right. Class B with the example. Yes, in last slide it was class C, now it is class B. Types of subnetting, and I have only discussed this FLSM part, right? And VLSM maybe we'll discuss in some other separate video someday. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care and keep smiling, keep learning, and keep sharing your knowledge with others. And yes, bye bye, take care. I'll see you in the next videos.